Hello and welcome. I'm Andy Jones, and today this is day 3 out of 5 days of Nemo, which means that on day 1 we took a look at performances of Nemo with Tarja singing the vocals. On day 2 we saw Annette sing, and today on day 3 I'm going slightly achronologically because I'd like to look at Floor and her performances. I'm starting with the 3 official vocalists of Nightwish. On day 4 I'm going to look at Elise Reed from Amaranth, and we're going to check out her audition tape to join the band with Nemo, as well as the live performance of Nemo at the Denver debacle. And on day 5, we're going to look at Crewish's cover of Nemo, because Crewish is Nightwish's crew for all the tour shows, who cannot work at the moment because of the pandemic. So they've been really productive with their time. They've recorded 5 covers of Nightwish songs, and they've put them on CD. So we're going to look at their version of Nemo as well. And finally, we're going to check out Tim Ackerman singing Nemo on the Bester Zangers show, where he sang the song for Floor. So there are still plans ahead. We're right in the middle here today. And I'm looking forward to checking out, firstly, a live version of Nemo with Floor singing, with Kai playing drums, and with Troy in the band. That's going to be from the Wembley Stadium show in the Decades tour. And then we're going to listen to Floor and Troy playing the song as a duo at the Planet Rock acoustic live session to get a very, very different angle on the song. So I don't want to talk about it for too long. I just want to mention that if you've been enjoying my content, or if you're just getting to know me and enjoying what I do, please do hit that subscribe button so that you know when day 4 and 5 go online, so you can be here for the premiere and talk to me in the chat. Also, please note I have a new Discord server that is linked in the description to the video, so come and enjoy me and talk about Nightwish and music and all kinds of other things as well. And finally, please do also subscribe to my Twitch channel, Andy Jones Official, because I'll be doing regular live streams there, including live reviews and reactions. So for those of you waiting for a specific song, join a stream, tell me about it, and I'll get it done for you there and then. Okay, so without further ado, let us jump in and look at Floor singing Nemo with Nightwish. Let's do this.
Yeah, you know this one.
Okay, so let's talk about the beginning of this. Starts as normal. I don't have a whole lot to say about the first verse and the first chorus, except for probably 2 things. Firstly, Floor's voice and this song. They work so well together. I have nothing bad at all to say about Tarja's way of singing this song. In fact, it's what got me into Nightwish in the first place. So don't see this as any kind of negativity towards Tarja, because I really enjoy how she sings the song. But Floor's vocal tone fits so perfectly with the music behind it in this. I'm not saying it's better than Tarja's version, I'm saying it's equally good. So I have no complaints about either at all. Annette's version, I've told you before, I think the acoustic version fits her voice better than the louder version. Again, not a criticism of Annette, just, you know, the song was originally written for Tarja. Annette's voice didn't gel with it as well as it did with other songs, in my opinion. But with Floor, it gels. Great. The other thing I want to talk about is Troy, because Troy is a very welcome addition to this song. Not that he was missing, but you never know the value that someone's going to bring until they're there. So you have this beautiful sounding whistle at the beginning there, where originally, you know, it was the piano melody that was playing it. And this is also going on through the chorus underneath Floor's vocals. So the melody is being doubled by the whistle. That's all I really need to say. The rest of it sounds fantastic as usual. You know, Kai is playing it very true to how Yuka played it. Very few changes at all. So not much I need to say about it. Let's carry on and see.
My
We're going to come back and check this bit out again in a minute because I don't want to forget things from the second verse. So what I really like about the beginning of that verse in this particular version is that Thomas has changed the way that he plays the piano. In the original version and in the one with Annette, he's playing single note melodies. And here he's doubling it up into a chord. So he's playing harmonies as he goes along, and it sounds lovely. Again, mystical, romantic. I don't know whether I prefer it to the original. I don't really have any objection to either. So it's just a really nice change. Something that you can just listen out for and go, oh, that's different, that's cool. And it is. Apart from that, not a whole lot I need to say. I feel like Empu has pulled back a little bit in the second verse compared to the original version, that he's doing more of the palm muting and less of the kind of flageolets or the pinch harmonics. But apart from that, nothing noticeably different. Kai is really playing true to the original. He's basically, put Yuka's parts exactly as they were, and it sounds great. And then we come to the instrumental parts, and what's really interesting here is that Troy's playing the lead melody now, where it was strings before. And the strings are still there, but it's obviously Troy who's further forward in the mix. So he's taking the more prominent role in this. Let's see how it continues. Before we get into that final chorus there. Okay, so these parts are pretty much the same as they were before, except for the fact, like I said, that Troy's taking the lead on the build-up with the strings. Empu's solo is Empu solo. It's played beautifully again, and he's having fun, and he's interacting with the audience while he's doing it. He's doing what Empu does, and it's great, as usual. So nothing much to say about that. The part that follows it, again, true to the original in the sense of the drums are still the same. Kai's playing Yuka's parts exactly there. And, Floor's singing it as it was before, except she's singing it her own way. And the very last note at the end, she goes up. And again, lovely difference. I'll say more about that on day 4. So we'll wait until day 4 and we'll say more about that. Because Floor is not the first vocalist to sing this song with Nightwish and go up high. That's all I'm saying for now. And then we get to the little piano melody, and I've told you before that Thomas varied it very slightly for live shows, and he's done a very, very, very slight variation again. He's changed one note, and it's the fourth to last note. Just nice little detail to listen out for. Okay, let's have that final set of choruses. Okay, before we get into the outro, all I want to talk about here, we've got the double chorus, all sounds great. Empu's running around the stage interacting with Floor and interacting with everybody else at the same time. Only thing I want to mention here is that, again, we see that Floor has kept to Annette's method of sticking with the lyrics of the first half of the chorus and not changing to, oh, how I wish to dream again in the second part. This is nitpicking. I'm not really complaining about it because it doesn't change the meaning of the lyrics all that much. Just notice that it's there and that it's like that. And apart from that, nothing much to add. what I want to add is this outro. Let's see. That'll do. So that is the highlight for me of this version. Apart from the fact that I love Floor's vocals in this song, I could have gone with the Wacken 2013 performance, which is probably the one that everybody would initially want me to go for, but I had to take this one for a couple of reasons. Firstly, I really wanted a performance that had Kai in it, because I want to go through as many of the members in the chronology of Nightwish as possible, and that's the exception of Sammy, of course, because he wasn't in the band when the song was written, but all of the other members since have been involved in this song somehow. So I wanted Kai involved, and I wanted particularly Troy. And, Troy hadn't taken as much of a prominent role in this song in the Imaginarium tour, in the Dark Passion Play tour. But by this point, on the Decades tour, he'd really come into his own in this song. He's taken on, lead roles at the end there with the guitar now as well, because I guess some were wondering, what's he got this guitar hanging around his neck for if he's not going to play it in the song? And then suddenly at the end it becomes clear. And he's playing the lead melody again, which is what the strings and the brass were playing. And they are there in the background, but he's pulled it into the forefront on the guitar. And he's using his EBow again, and I love it. Every time I've heard this EBow, I've heard it in Sahara, I've heard it in While Your Lips Are Still Red, and now I've heard it here, and it's just so fitting. And the way that it interacts with Floor's vocals is great. I complained a little bit last time about Annette singing all the way through to the end, but she was singing words and there were no kind of pauses in between. And with Floor, we've got pauses for a start, so there is room to breathe in between and let the guitar play, but there's also no actual words being sung. She's just singing R's and, vocalizing basically. So that's much easier to interact with the guitar then. So I actually, this version is a bit of a highlight for me, I've got to admit. But it's not the only highlight. We have an acoustic version of this to look at. I've just been talking about what a great team Floor and Troy are at the end of this song. And now we get to hear the two of them all by themselves, playing at the Planet Rock session, where they play acoustically. And that's really interesting, of course, because they were both not in the band when Nemo was written. So I want to go over there and take a look and see how they get on with the acoustic version. Here we go.
Planet Rock. Planet Rock.
This is me for forever, one of the lost ones, the one without a name, without an honest heart has come past. This is me for forever, one without a name. These lines, the last and ever, to find the missing lifelines. Oh, how I wish for a soothing rain. All I wish is to dream again. My loving heart lost in the dark. For hope I'd give my everything.
I was kind of pulled into the trance of the song there. Just fascinated by the tone of his guitar there. when you watch Nightwish perform, you kind of know that Troy can play guitar because you see him playing a few songs with his ebow, and you see him play a bit of backing guitar. You don't really see him just standing there with an acoustic guitar and accompanying Floor like this. So this shows off a whole lot of what Troy can do that you don't necessarily see in a full band show. And it shows what skills he's got on the guitar. You know, he's all over the place on that fretboard and totally with it. So, you know, I mean, this setting is not without its pressure. It's a live recording session for one of the prominent rock music stations of the UK. And the two of them just hop on their bar stools and come up with a version like this. Musician goals right there. And I suppose you were thinking, some of you at least, when is he finally going to talk about lyrics? So this is a good time because now we can really hear them without the rest of the band playing. So we've got the lyrics kind of at the forefront of this. And what really sticks out to me would be one thing that I actually misheard all these years. In the very first line, she sings, "This is me for forever." And this whole time I've been hearing fall in my head. This is me fall forever, because it evokes that feeling of kind of falling, of being, you know, out of your own skin and of not knowing who you are. It's kind of that it's falling feeling, but that's not the lyric. It's for forever. So, okay, fine. Still works, of course, but it's just interesting to see that even, you know, however I hear it, it works. One of the lost ones obviously fitting in with the Nemo of being lost and not knowing one's name. I like the line "without an honest heart as compass" as well. That kind of, they've been tricked by themselves into being lost and nameless. So that I quite like as well. And also at the very end of the first verse, you know, these lines, "the last endeavor to find the missing lifeline." Lovely set of lyrics. And it also just connects the song to the mission. It's almost like someone's jotting it down and putting a message in a bottle and sending it out, trying to get some assistance. That's the kind of image that I have in my mind with that. And it doesn't, you know, it doesn't fall too far away from the Islander, right? So maybe there is a theme in here in Thomas's writing. Okay, enough lyrics for now. Let's get into the second part of the song.
Dream again, my loving heart lost in the dark. For hope I give my everything. My flower withered between the pages 2 and 3. The once and forever bloomed on with my sins. Walk the dark path, sleep with angels, call the past for help. Touch me with your love and reveal to me my true name. Oh, how I wish for a soothing rain. All I wish is to dream again. My loving heart lost in the dark. For hope I'd give my everything. Oh, I wish for a soothing rain. All I wish is to dream again. Once and for all and over once. Nemo, my name forevermore.
We'll come back to this part in a second because, like I said, there's never a good time to pause in this song. The start of that second verse, goodness. And I've seen him play it before, you know, I've seen this clip before, but it's astonishing. I mean, Troy is a real revelation in this. You know, we've heard Floor sing this before. We know that she can sing it, and we know how well she can sing it. And it's no surprise to me that, you know, she's doing exactly the same here in this acoustic version. Troy is a real revelation because we don't get to hear this in the full band set. And, you know, just randomly Troy playing Thomas's piano melody from the beginning of the second verse on guitar and right in time with no accompaniment sounds, wow, just amazing. And I'm a little bit in awe of him because, again, his fingers are all over the fretboard, all different variants of the chords that he's playing so that it remains fresh and interesting all the way through. And also adding those backings that we've heard before in the acoustic version with Annette in the chorus. And again, their voices gel really well together. And I'm excited. I'm excited about hearing Troy and Floor sing together more. I think we may have to hear them sing together more now, by necessity due to the absence of Marco these days. And I'm really interested to see what's going to happen there, because I don't honestly hear Troy taking on all of the male vocals. I don't think his voice fits with the harsher male vocals that Marco used to do. But for songs like this, fits fantastically. Lyrics. The second verse I'll talk about now, my flower withered between the pages 2 and 3. Love that. What's page 2? What's page 3? I'd be really interested in interpretation of that. Which are the pages that we're talking about here? Walking the dark path, sleep with angels. And I have to admit, again, there was another line where I misheard the lyrics. She sings, call the past for help. And I've never heard that P at the end. I've always heard call the past for hell. Which again, it's kind of pulling out of this hellish past of not knowing one's own name and not knowing one's identity and looking towards the future for more. So again, both versions work, and it's really interesting to see that actually it's a different set of lyrics than what I've been hearing for a good, how many years now, 15 or 16 years. So really interesting to me. Okay. I think that covers it for now. Let's carry on.
Once Nemo, my name forevermore. Name
Planet Rock.
So much to say about this last part of the song. Really like it. Firstly, I want to talk about how above that kind of musical interlude in the middle, both Troy and Floor are singing the string parts that you'd otherwise hear. And that just shows, they've really made an effort to accommodate everything they can from the original and fit it in there. So really appreciate that. Then what does surprise me, again, and I said this in the Annette version too, is that they've left out the 2 lines of Nemo sailing on, Nemo letting go, because it's where Nemo is named. So it does surprise me that this has been left out. I don't know why that strategic choice has been made. I'd love to know, but I don't. So that's one little surprise for me. But then we get into that last double chorus again, and every time, Floor really surprises me with all the inflections that she puts on words. Those lovely little trills in between syllables and at the ends of words. And, it doesn't matter what she sings. I still have the Bester Zangers performances to review. I've heard them all and I really enjoy them all, but I still have to review them. I mean, I don't have to, but I want to. So that really surprised me too. And I just really enjoy listening to her sing and to him play. It's a beautiful combination of the two of their skills. Now, lyrics. Let's talk lyrics, because we've not talked about the chorus yet. Oh, how I wish for soothing rain. The wish theme. All I wish is to dream again, the dream theme. Because remember, Everdream is, or was at least, one of Thomas's favourite songs. I don't know if it still is. And one of the ones that kind of emotionally captured him the most. And then there's the same dream theme in the chorus of Nemo, which is the song that basically catapulted Nightwish to international stardom. So, beautiful connection there. And then we have My Loving Heart, Lost in the Dark. And the heart is important too. Connection to, and look, here's the next video from the live set at Planet Rock, How's the Heart? And I don't know whether it's intentional that there's 2 heart-based songs in there. How's the Heart is special to me. And I've been resisting reviewing songs from the new album because I've been kind of hoping that at some point there'd be a live version for me to look at, because I do prefer looking at live versions than studio versions. Just my preference. But even though we have the shows coming up in May, I'm kind of doubtful as to whether any of the live footage will end up online anytime soon. So do I wait for a DVD of the tour, which may or may not happen soon, or do I go with the studio versions? Tell me what you think. And particularly tell me whether you'd like to see a review of How's the Heart acoustic from Planet Rock, because like I say, that song is special to me. I have plenty to say about it, so if you want to hear it, then let me know in the comments, and I'll try and fit that in pretty soon. The end is drawn out a little bit on that penultimate chord before Troy goes into the root chord at the end. And what I like about the root chord, it's a D minor chord, and he takes it onto D minor and then takes his finger off the high E string to make it a D suspended 2 minor chord. And that's a lovely little touch at the end. Really like that. So on the whole, what we have is a beautiful acoustic performance where the two of them together just sound just as wonderful, actually, as the 6 of them together. Not better or worse, but just equally wonderful. And I'm so glad and grateful that we've got both of those versions to listen to. So I'm happy I looked at the acoustic performance here at Planet Rock. It really does add a different dimension. I'd really love to actually just hear an acoustic set of Nightwish's music with however many band members on stage, because we've seen what they sound like with 6 people as well, with an acoustic version with Annette. And why not a whole set of that? You know, that'd be so cool. But yeah, just really grateful for this version, and I'm glad that I included it in my 5 days of Nemo. Okay, so this winds up day 3 out of 5. I'm not going to tell you again what's happening on day 4 and day 5 because I've told you at the beginning. You don't need to hear a repetition of that. What you do need to hear, of course, is that I really enjoy making these videos for you. I really like spending the time on it, and I really like your feedback about the songs and about which versions you prefer. Please do just keep it respectful to all of the vocalists in the chat. I would like to see, you know, respect and just kindness towards all of the vocalists, because I really enjoy all 3 of their time in the band. There may be versions that we prefer of certain songs, but I think all of them deserve, you know, the basic respect of having been a part of Nightwish's history and been a great contribution to their work. So please keep it kind in the comments. That's important to me. What I'd also like to mention is that I'd love it if you do connect with me on my social media accounts, from Discord to Twitch to my Instagram as well, because on Instagram you can also send me direct messages if there's something you'd like to ask or tell me. Then that's how you can get hold of me directly, nice and easily. So I look forward to connecting with you and hearing more from you. And if you really enjoy what I'm doing, then I'd really appreciate if you took a look at my Patreon page. For €1 a month, you can get instant access to all of my content as soon as it goes online. That's both my own music and my review videos. And before they hit YouTube, you get the preview and you get to kind of comment first. And secondly, you know, for €5 a month, there's a second tier in which there's a bunch of bonus content, from outtake videos to bonus reviews that don't make it to YouTube. Also, there's early demos of my own music. There's live performance videos that aren't going public. All kinds of things in there. And it's really helpful to the channel to keep it going, also to the motivation, but also in terms of getting hold of equipment and improving the quality of what I put out for you here. Every little bit helps. So every contribution, even if it's just for 1 month for €1, massively appreciated. So if you'd like to kind of get some bonus content and put a little bit in the pot, then do head over to Patreon. In the meantime, thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I look forward to continuing with days 4 and 5 with you. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.